We back on some vampire. Still don't know the name of the game. The menu music got me a copyright, so y'all not gonna get to hear it. I heard it though. I jammed out. I did a whole freestyle and everything. Let's get to the game. All right. Apologies. You must have so many questions. While we're on the topic, perhaps we should start with those related to sustenance. What was the last thing I did? I drank blood, right? I drank blood from a cup or something. How much do I have to drink? When do you get blood? What if I refuse to drink? Yeah. It's kind of weird that you have weirder serving blood. Where do you get it from? That can be a bit of a touchy topic. Let's just say that most of the blood available at events like this is crowd-funded. What you mean by that? What you mean by that? Did I get that right? It's hard to keep track of modern language. No, I don't think she did. At any rate, what I mean is that there's a every time, bro. What I mean is that there is a plethora of vessels on tap. As for where to get blood when you're not in Elysium, tomorrow I shall take you hunting and we will explore this topic further. What you need to know right now is that no matter how much you drink, you will always be tempted to have more, unless you consume someone wholly to the last drop. But even that doesn't last. Best start by just taking a single sip from a vessel. Be prudent. Hot, fresh blood is more satiating than most anything that can be served in a fancy glass, but it can make you more ferocious. Okay. Let me see what's up this dictionary because it keeps updating. What's this dictionary about? No, okay, so that's not the dictionary, obviously. Here's the dictionary. But what's the whatever? Where the music at? This game is so quiet. As to how much you should have, it depends. If you're frugal, you can survive many nights without a single drink, but it's risky and it will tempt the beast that is part of our curse. Beast, yeah, explain that beast. It was in the dictionary, but I'm not gonna go back. That beast you mentioned, is that a metaphor or oh, it's quite real, although not in a strictly physical sense. It lives in all of us. Our nature and hunger manifest. So when I'm a beast, I'm just extra hungry. What? If I don't eat, I become the beast and I'm extra hungry. Those more religious among us connected to the biblical Cain. Cain. I'm sorry. The rage of the first murderer, cursed by God, teething in all his descendants. I, however, am a child of the Enlightenment. Not that it makes my struggle any easier. I have to be weary like every other kindred in the city and beyond. Individual kindred each have a unique relationship to their beast. What's yours is going to be remains to be seen. What yours is going to be remains to be seen. God damn, come on, bro. You're giving me too many words. But you do need to keep it under control. Each outburst endangers not just you, but also that masquerade. The concierge returns, asks for permission to intrude, which Sophie gives with a polite smile, and leads him to whisper in her ear. You note that the gallery is now almost empty. I'm being told the gallery is just about to close, but we still have quite a lot to discuss. We'll go to one of my apartments. Hold on, Sophie. Sophie, you a freak? Bro, don't tell me we're back on this, bro. I thought we were over this last episode. Come on, bro. My jalopy is waiting downstairs. Come. The smile she puts on makes you remember the way you felt with the Latina. It's not arousing though, more like magnetic. You find it hard to argue. This nigga is this nigga is horrible at like any type of talk back. I don't. Even though you're still suspicious of her authority over you, her charm momentarily went you over. Like this nigga's all horrible at like defending himself. He can't at all. Anytime somebody shows some type of assertion to this nigga, he just fold. Like Sophie leads you to a luxurious silver Rolls Royce and invites you to sit in the back. The chauffeur, a broad-shouldered, clean-shaven, middle-aged guy, starts driving immediately. Where did we leave? I believe I started telling you a bit more about our customs. You've heard the prince refer to our traditions. The chief among them is Masquerade. As you might have gathered from us assembling at a niche gallery after closing time, our comings, goings, and doings tend to be somewhat secretive. We do not advertise our existence. We allow myths and modern fiction to morph and muddle the facts, so to the vast majority of kin, we remain bedtime stories and pop culture icons. Is that one television show about a vampire angel still popular? Fucking which one? There's like every show. You shake your head in confusion. She shrugs and continues talking, looking a bit more dejected than before. What are these words they throwing at me? Clandestine? Our clandestine ways help us remain safe, allow us to explain away the occasional trip up to the rational minds of 21st century humanity, and dictate much of our interactions with mortals. Is your vampire driver too? What's the risk? So what's the flip side? I want to ask this one, but it's not that important. I'm gonna ask though. I'm guessing your vampire driver is a vampire. Oh, did Gregory here? No, not a vampire. Although he is a loyal servant and is much trusted to not spill our secrets left and right, you will realize with time that such help is welcome. Gregory watches over me during the day hours. Sun burns are kind, that's why we take our rest when it rises. It's more akin to being dead than asleep, as I'm sure you've already experienced. Yep, it happened last episode, when I was in the red room, and I apparently was asleep for 19 hours. But not everything you've heard about vampires is true. Some more folk-related threats are just legends, or occasionally a minor nuisance. Garlic, running water, even religious symbols don't repel us. Unless the wielder is uniquely pure and godly. Stakes through the heart, though, that's something to avoid. They do not destroy, but they do paralyze us. What is the running water? What is that one? I've never heard about that one. Well, that's just another reason to have somebody like trusty old Gregory making sure you're safe when you drift away. We have many enemies, and they often know their advantage lies with daylight. So it's good to keep human friends. Why would I say that? Why would I say this one? Do vampires watch each other's backs? You mentioned enemies. I guess that makes it necessary to watch each other's backs. Can you count on other vampires for what? For that. She surprises you by letting off a soft chuckle before answering. No. A little sect supplies social interactions aplenty, but it doesn't really encourage counting on someone. Support given in exchange for favors? Yeah, that's more like it. Long-term solidarity does occur in the Camarilla, but we are a very politicized organization by necessity. Loyalty is to your sire, to your prince, and to the sect. When you're in Elysium, like, okay, bro, hold on. So, she said Elysium at least 50 times. Why am I just now getting that in my dictionary? When you're in Elysium, like we were tonight, the sect can appear to be a monolith. The reality is more complex. Outside of official gatherings, shady deals and a quid pro quo mentality reign supreme. She seems to be lost in thought and falls silent for a while, leaving you to ponder all the things you've learned tonight. It still feels absolutely unreal, but as piece after piece of knowledge falls into place, the image becomes almost like an entirely logical jigsaw puzzle. Whatever you wouldn't believe of your own, you witnessed. Many questions form your thoughts, but the one that you keep returning to is what your place in this new reality should be. The car stops. You are in the city, in front of an old, well-renovated apartment building. We're here. Would you like to see your lodgings? Is it another parking lot room? How long do you expect? Okay, my own apartment. And get my own apartment? That's neat. Consider it the first of many gifts that I'm able to grant in exchange for loyalty. Come upstairs. She leads you through. I thought this was her apartment. She leads you through a small hall with the night guard who greets Miss Langley with a good evening, and you take the stairs up to the second floor. Sophie opens the door to room 209. Inside are all the amenities you could expect from a modern apartment, and some you wouldn't have deemed necessary just the previous night, including thick blinds on the windows. The back room has a comfortable looking bed and a thick steel door with several sturdy looking locks in the windows. Are you surprised, nigga? You're a vampire. She just said you can't take sunlight. Well, how do you like it? What? Can I choose another? If it was too nice. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad. Make yourself at home. Tomorrow, I will take you hunting and discuss the blood in more detail. I'll let you get comfortable. The keys are by the television set. I will come pick you up tomorrow night. Use the back room for rest. You can lock the doors, just in case. It stings a bit when she leaves. It's like the room suddenly became a few shades dimmer. You inspect the kitchen, hoping to find something to drink. Nothing. No regular food either. Feels strange that Q could be a more thoughtful host than your new sire, even if only in that respect. You briefly wonder if the sheriff might have a hidden side. What? Hidden side? Hidden side? Hidden side, yeah, okay. With nothing left to do, you lie on the couch with the TV playing in the background for company. Columbo return. Reruns. Kojak reruns. President of the United States got himself into serious trouble again. President of the United States got himself out of serious trouble again. Pundits start yelling over each other about things that seemed a little less significant just 2 days ago. You start drifting off, reflecting about another night of confusing conversations and worldview-shattering revelations. How many more? How many more before you finally understand what happened to you and what you're supposed to do now? You keep coming back to the life you left behind, the people you should contact, the things you want to pick up from your apartment. You wonder when you'll have the chance for either. As you start to feel the same tiredness that made you drift into a cold sleep last night, you settle in the back room. The bed is comforting. The lack of windows less so. You leave the light bulb on. Looking at it, you realize it's the closest thing you'll ever come to staring at the sun on a breezy summer day again. However, melancholy overwhelms you. Y'all gotta stop doing that. I forgot that they do that, bro. I just jumped. A few minutes later, your consciousness fades and you take the plunge in the darkness again. Sinking, 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 sinking. Okay, is this GTA 5, nigga? What's going on? Okay. Hunger is at the heart of the vampire's existence. To ignore it is to tempt the beast to take over in its desire to feed. To overindulge in feeding may threaten the masquerade while staying in what humanity you have left. So I have to balance my hunger out. Like this is fucking Red Dead Redemption. In Coteries of New York, having high hunger is indicated by a progressively thicker blood frame around the screen, like the one you see now. Okay. As your hunger grows, so does this indicator. Your hunger may increase what you call upon your vampiric, vampiric, vampiric powers, or when you need to mend your wounds after a fight. After a fight, when your hunger reaches a maximum level, you will receive a warning after you complete a piece of the story. Ignore it at your own peril. Some choices might only become visible if your hunger is high enough. Similarly, high hunger may block off some choices, as you will be able to see after pressing continue. Okay, so to decrease your hunger, you will need to feed. Whenever you see a feeding opportunity, you can take the risk to hunt and slake your hunger. Feeding opportunity. You will need to keep the hunger at bay if you are to uphold the masquerade and survive the nights that await you. You open your eyes. The bed isn't warm. The room is filled with artificial light from the ceiling. The solid metal door is closed. Normally, you'd stretch for a bit. On some mornings, you'd probably throw the quilt over yourself and snooze a moment longer. But that was before. The way you woke up now, you were fully conscious. No grogginess. Nothing weighing you down. Just a nagging need in the back of your head. Hunger. Not as severe as the last time, but unmistakably there. You get up and open the door to the main room. The digital clock on the TV shows you the time. 9:04 p.m. You walk over to the blinds and retract them cautiously. The only light coming in is NYC's artificial nighttime luminescence. So that's what your waking hours are gonna look like now. You miss the sunlight already. You're seriously considering just walking out of the apartment and figuring this all out by yourself. But then you come back to the memory of Q's exotic sword being raised in the gallery. Maybe sticking around isn't that bad of an idea after all. You keep jumping channels for around half an hour and then switch to streaming services. Almost as if the universe had a sense of irony. You catch True Blood in the flood of recommendations. The doorbell rings. It's Sophie. How do you know that? Good evening, Trey. Slept well? Evening? Nigga, evening? It's 9 o'clock. What? Like a dead man. Curious wording, but not that far from the truth, I suppose. No use dwelling on it. I think you'll agree with time. You made the right choice yesterday. I can teach you many things about yourself. Your blood, its desires, and its power. We will begin tonight. You are hungry, yes? I'm sure you are. Our kind always is. There's only one remedy. and blood. The drinks we had yesterday at Elysium are not the usual way you slake your thirst. So tonight, I'll assist you in your first foray into hunting. You need to learn to sense the kind of blood you desire, to understand how you can use the kin's vulnerabilities to your advantage. I'm ready to learn. No more freebies. Predator and prey hunt grim. Such eagerness. Or is it just your hunger making you impatient? You will find that drinking moderate amounts of it regularly will keep the hunger and the whispers of the beast away. You might think yourself monstrous, but there is a balance to be found here. The kiss gives the kin pleasure. You might remember this from your own embrace. Some can even become addicted to the sensation. But if you do it right, they tend to misremember your feeding. The kiss. An act of drinking blood, usually from a mortal, the kiss causes feelings of ecstasy in those who receive it. Receive the kiss or receive the blood? After all, vampires do not exist. They are myths, fairy tales, and pop culture mainstays, correct? She gives you a sly, knowing smile. That is why the masquerade is so important, and even more crucial when you feed. How do I choose who to feed from? Are there better or worse targets? Isolated kin are easy as prey, of course, but much depends on context. Hunting requires a different approach in a busy club than it does on an empty street. With time, you will have the luxury of finding your preference in hunting methods and prey. Now, I suggest experimenting. In moderation. Feeding from the same area repeatedly can be dangerous, but by branching out you risk the ire of other kindred on whose domains you trespass. Lucky for you, NYC is more forgiving in this regard. New York is somewhat in a unique position. Many of its neighborhoods remain contested or unclaimed. The reason for this is a lesson for another time, but keep the following in mind. Take opportunities to feed when they present themselves these upcoming nights. As long as you hunt cautiously and respect the masquerade at all times, you should be fine. To wit, I want you to join me for a trip tonight. Come downstairs. Gregory's waiting for us. The busy streets fill the air with traffic noise, pedestrian chatter, and a mix of smells that disorient you momentarily. These warm bodies contain what you want, what you need. You catch yourself. Did you really just think of these people as mere sources of blood? It takes a nudge from Sophie to break your train of thought. Her driver opens the door for her and then tips his hat to you, gesturing to the back of the car. The car casually joins the somewhat thin New York traffic. It's still busy in a way only one of the biggest cities in the world can be, but compared to the nighttime commute, it's a pleasant drive. You barely have the time to gather your thoughts and formulate new questions before the car comes to a stop. You're among the tall skyscrapers that make up Manhattan's iconic skyline. Come, Trent. Park the car, Gregory, will you? The driver just... Where are we? Where did she just take me? The driver just nods and Sophie gets out. You join her, and the two of you walk through the glass doors together, then take the elevator up. You first notice an empty stage with the instruments of a string quartet still in the back. Then taking a few dozen chairs in front of it. The concert seeming concluded, the patrons, all smartly dressed and posh, have spread it all out all over the hall. Sophie strides confidently inside, produces an invitation from her purse that she flashes in front of the security guard. They follow close and are let through without issue. Oh, are we here? Okay. So she's taking me to eat people. Got you. Got you. Okay. Let's start easy. A social setting like this one would usually prove quite challenging to an inexperienced kindred, but considering this evening a small gift from your patron, I'm hoping to procure for you a willing vessel. Just remember what I told you about taking small sips. This one I have a soft spot for. Don't damage her. What? Nah, let's see here. Ah, there he is. She noticed somebody in the crowd, flashes a heart-melting smile, and suddenly even you feel drawn to her. You haven't thought about it before, but it's laid clear before you in this moment. Sophie is beautiful. Just looking at her is privilege. Just being with her makes you feel elated. Nah, this nigga wanna fuck Sophie. Everybody in the crowd, but especially the man who's almost tripping over himself to reach her, clearly agrees. She bad though. She is bad. Edgar, I'm so happy to see you. How's your daughter? Is she with you? Oh, there she is. Julie, my girl, come over, please. There's somebody else. Oh my god, we're about to... Oh my god, I just realized I just connected it. Why Julie? Okay, I thought Julie was like a toddler, dude. She's 19. Whatever. Same old, same old. She can die. The young woman who walks across the hall can't be more than 19 years old. It's clear from her mismatched earrings and the partially faded purple hair dye that she doesn't fit the crowd. Julie, this is Trey. I think the two of you should get acquainted while I talk business with your dad. Awfully boring stuff, I assure you. I'm positive you'll like each other. The girl gives you a shy smile and nods towards the balcony stairs. You follow, somewhat unsure what it is exactly Sophie expects you to do. Kill her! Don't kill her, just kiss her, I guess, and take small sips. You reach a secluded space from which the entire lobby is visible. All eyes are on Sophie. They listen intently, then laugh when she does. Julie saves you the trouble of figuring out the next step. She don't look like how I thought she would have looked. If you're with Sophie, then I guess you're, I mean that you know. So she knows we're vampires. She puts her wrist to your lips and gives herself a theatrical nip. Oh, okay. I misread that. I thought that she bit me. I was like, what? Then looks at you, embarrassed, but also hopeful. What, you're into that sort of thing? I'm not gonna say that. I'm interested though. I'm interested. She takes off her jacket, unbuttons her sleeve, then rolls it up. You see a tattoo of a cat in an astronaut suit. One feline eye winking at you. Excuse me? She's there. Just enjoy. Now I feel kind of bad. I don't want to do it. A perfectly awkward smile and a blush. I don't want to do it, but I kind of have to, because otherwise she's going to apparently destroy me. You take her forearm in your hands. A quick look around confirms nobody's watching you. No security cameras cover this area. You bite down gently. It's surreal. She's just giving you her own blood. She's just giving you her blood of her own volition. How is this possible? What about the masquerade? You need to ask Sophie. Your thoughts disappear amid the bliss. There's just a taste. Sweet, fresh, sanguine. You drink. And drink. And drink. Oh my god. Okay. Because in my head I was thinking the same thing too. I was like, what if I'm not able to control myself and I end up killing this girl? But he stopped. Thankfully. You tear away from the girl harder than you wanted. Still, the bite leaves just tiny punctures, almost as if by instinct you lick them clean. And the two holes become concealed just like that. Julie's now leaning on the wall, pale, wobbly on her feet, but happy. She a freak. Sophie, Julie, hit my line. She lets out a dreamy sigh, opens her eyes. A few tears fall into her shirt. Tears of joy. She a freak. I'm gonna stop. Thank you. Please, can you walk me downstairs? Please. My dad, he doesn't know. Thinks it's a condition. Slangly told him so. She leans on you and requests you walk her over to a bench. She takes a seat and smiles at you. The crowd around Sophie disperses slowly. Looking at her now, only some residual awe hangs in the air. Yes, she's pretty, maybe even beautiful, sure, but not your type. What came over you before? You walk over to her. Sophie bad. I don't know what this nigga talking about. Not my type. I'd let Sophie bite me. My fault. I'm sorry, y'all. It's 3 o'clock, bro. I'm tired. You know what happens at 3 o'clock. Edgar, dear. It was splendid talking to you, but we need to get going. You're truly my best wishes. Come with Trey. Gregory's waiting for you to out front. It's only in the car that Sophie addresses you. I can tell from your look that you took the opportunity. Good for you. That girl's exquisite, don't you think? Why are we talking? You wouldn't tell by her demeanor, but she has so much passion. It brings out a unique bouquet in her blood. No, bro. She just a freak. It's a fetish. I don't know, bro. Her blood was delicious. She knows who we are. I feel like I took advantage of her. A little bit. A little bit. Oh, please, spare me the dramatics. I'm sure she was happy sharing herself. Yo, can we stop? Just pull over. Get me out. She's such a sheltered girl. Let her have fun from time to time. Fun? Fun! Time for the next stop. Training wheels off this time. Here we go again. So you're telling me I actually didn't even have to eat her? Because I didn't want to do it in the first place. I did it because I was scared that I wouldn't have another opportunity for a while. And my blood or my hunger would get too, high. And I'd be like, going crazy. And options would be blocked off and stuff. But we're about to go again. So I did. The driver takes the car over to Williamsburg Bridge. You shelter your thoughts. You settle your thoughts. There's people back in the hall. They were all entranced. Even I was under your spell. What was that? She smiles in satisfaction. That old trick? Just the blood doing my bidding. We all have our own talents. Some of them come from the legacy we inherit from our sire. Others can be learned with experience. I can sway people or make them fear me. I see more of a world in greater detail than some kindred. I can will my body to move with unparalleled precision and grace. And more. All of these skills make me who I am. They also help me hunt. What are my powers? I mean, she won't know because she don't even know who your sire is. Time will tell. You need to discover them yourself. When we arrive, experiment. Give different things a try. Follow your instinct and intuition. It will guide the blood. Always keep the masquerade in mind, however. It is all fine if you can disappear in plain sight or command animals with your mind, but save those overt talents for the right place and time. Control animals with my mind? How would that help me get blood? I can think of a few ways, actually. It only takes you half an hour to reach the park at this time at night. Both you and Sophie lead the car, with Gregory left behind again to find a parking spot and keep an eye on the car. I yawned, y'all, my bad. Sophie seems deep in thought. She takes in the surroundings with a dreamy gaze. The sky is surprisingly clear tonight. The stars just barely visible in the light-polluted aura of the city. I feel like having a snack myself. I'll be by the fountain. Go look for somebody to your liking. 2 victims you can achieve with your blood. Only pick one victim. Just one. Then come back. Seeing how she seems not all together right now. You decide to leave Sophie to her own devices and seek out your prey. From here, it looks like you have a few choices. Just taking a stroll around the park, finding an isolated jogger or someone like them could work. Focusing on one area might work better. The New York State Pavilion might work as a secluded spot. There's a skate park nearby. In worst case scenario, there's bound to be some unfortunate window around. Or maybe the tennis courts nearby. There's light coming from there, so somebody might be playing a late night match. Against themselves? There's obviously gonna be 2 people over there. They won't be alone, but they might be tired and let their guard down. Horrible idea. I'm not going to know. As the scenarios play out in your mind, you realize you're planning how to assault a stranger in the middle of the night. It's a weird way to be, but the now familiar hunger, but the now familiar hunger prompts you to act. Search for the victim, but the decrepit. I'm not looking at the prey at the tennis courts. That's stupid because there's 2 people over there, and if one of them goes missing, they gonna be seeing. Man, no. I'm gonna search for a victim around the park. You start walking. The park's many avenues must hold a good spot or 2 for a predator. Okay, bro, stop. Don't call me that. You pass 2 soccer fields and circle around down the plan. It's once all visitors with a spectacle before coming across an opportunity. Oh, woman. Equal rights. Equal rights. I guess. Vampires gotta eat. A small duffel bag on her arm. She's making her way through the park in a hurry. She doesn't seem to have noticed you yet. Lie in wait and overpower her? No. You think back to what Sophie did in the hall. How she managed to focus her attention to the entire gathering of on her. That might be a tall order for you. But a single person? Could be doable. For a moment, you're thinking how an old guy in a hood should appear over your shoulder saying, okay, bro. But then something stirs within you. There's a confidence there. That lure that you might have had before, but one that's increased manifold in this moment. You catch the woman's eye. She flashes an unsure smile, almost in spite of herself, as she passes you by. Stop. She's tense, gripping her bag close but attentive. Her eyes lock onto yours. The slight smile is there again. She knows how to say something. Let's say something crazy. Let's say she. Yes. What is it? Almost intuitively, you close the distance between you. She can't look away. She's unprepared for what follows. In a swift move, you grab her and bite down. Her surprise resonates in her blood. Hot, excited, fast-flowing. She tenses up, then relaxes. The dofa back hits the ground. Bliss. Footsteps. You let go of her. She drops to the ground, barely conscious. The hooded man is looking menacingly at you. What do you think you're doing, barging the... Look at this fucking junkie, bruh. Barging in on my turf? What do you mean your turf? Nigga, this is a park. Okay, let me see. Cause I wanna fight him, bruh. But I gotta have the masquerade in mind, so I'm gonna just say I didn't mean to trespass. Too late for that. You wanna leave here in one piece. You talk. Candidly, I know what you are, so you can shove that. Aw, damn. Okay. Now better tell me who you are, who you're with before my posse shows up and we beat it out of you. Who you is, nigga? Cause you already know I'm a part of the masquerade, so. I'm saying, he tenses up, gives him extremely nasty looks, and bares his fangs. You don't want to push your luck, dumb fuck. Your crew is an earshot, one shot away, and you're D-O-N-E. Done. You get what I'm saying? So if you want to dance, let's dance. Once I'm through, I'm gonna hand you over to Callahan, and you're gonna be sorry I didn't finish you off instead. I'm not gonna attack him. I want to, but I'm not gonna attack him. Calling for help won't do anything. I'm gonna run. As you reach the Unisphere again, you slow down, noticing two people near the sculpture, a man and woman, tangled in a passionate embrace. No, not exactly. Sophie, feeding. But this whole scene is set up so it looks like a couple getting intimate in public. She pulls it off like she's done it 100 times before. Courtesy that she probably has. The man is unsure on his feet as he lets go of him, and the man is unsure on his feet as she lets go of him and leads him towards a nearby bench. Noticing you, she whispers something into his ear and leaves him. Her driver appears from behind a tree. Well, Trey, how did it go? You're about to answer when the same figure before emerges from one of the alleys. He looks at the three of you, and a predatory smile creeps onto his lips. The three? Think you'd be safe with your friends? Well, I have friends too. He makes a motion to shout, but two things happen almost at the same time. First, that feeling of warmth and beauty emanating from Sophie flares up again, entrancing you and the hooded thug. His shout comes out as a weak, confused squeak. I didn't think that would work on him because he's a vampire. But I'm a vampire. So, Second, Gregory produces a wooden stake from a holster in his jacket and slams it into the thug's chest. Just like that, in a few seconds, the posturing vampire is down on the ground, paralyzed. I'm thinking that if I attack this dude, she's gonna be mad at me because I'm endangering the masquerade. I could have fought this man. Oh my god, bro. Every single time I have an opportunity to fight somebody, I just miss it. I see you've made a friend, Trey. Curious choice of company, I would say. Who is he? Mr. Callahan. She looks shocked for a split second, then recovers her irregular countenance. Yes, I have. This Anarchist then. curious. Corona Park has not been claimed by any kindred last time I checked. Let's go to the car. We'll put him in the trunk and present him to Q tomorrow night. I'm sure he'll be delighted to make this unbound acquaintance. Gregory carries the staked vampire and dumps him in the car's trunk like a mannequin. It's a strange sight. You're quite happy you're not in that poor fucker's shoes right now. It's almost surprising that you can get away with just casually throwing a stiff into a car and driving away. But then you remember that Sophie's been doing this far longer than you have. Still, the nagging thought that anything you did tonight could have been recorded on a CCTV camera or picked up by a rando with a half-decent smartphone and streamed online fills you with dread. Hunting and using your abilities is a dangerous business. It's clear that this whole being a vampire thing has about as many caveats as it has perks. You're taken out of your headspace by Sophie's voice. I'll pick you up tomorrow night, same as tonight. I have some business to attend at the Elysium, and I expect you to accompany me. Plus, our friend in the back needs to be properly introduced to Q and the Prince. I'm sure he'll have some interesting things to say to the court. Her voice is cold, cruel, and nothing like the enchanting personality she showed at the gallery earlier tonight. Sophie's clearly a woman of many faces. Yeah, and all of them fine as hell. What's gonna happen to him? I do the same thing. I do the same thing in his place. What do you mean? You do the same thing in his place? Die? The usual, I imagine. Interrogation by Q, probably in the basement of the gallery. A quick trial with the prince in attendance if she's there tomorrow night. Swift execution as the verdict. This all sounds eerily familiar to you, and you can't help but feel a pang of guilt when you think about what awaits this guy tomorrow. Bruh, I'm not feeling bad for him. He's eating people, okay? I'm eating people too, but that's me, and he's not me, so. You haven't told me how your hunting went. Getting the hang of it, I will hope. It'll take some getting used to. It doesn't come naturally. It will, with time. You need to think about it less. Hunting is the one scenario in which you'll do well to trust your instincts. In moderation, of course. Everybody that I've eaten so far has seemed to enjoy it, though. That lady dropped her bag and she started smiling and relaxed. She did? She did? Do they die? She seemed distracted, not over there. Her thoughts drift and the car remains silent until you reach your apartment. We will pick you up tomorrow evening. Good night. Just like that, without any further courtesy, Sophie leaves, driven to her apartment by Gregory, with the body in the trunk, right in the middle of Manhattan. Did you cross paths with situations like this in the past unknowingly? What are the secrets that you pass on the streets without knowing your true nature? Your haven is just as you left it hours ago, although the sun won't come up for some time. You feel tired. You learned something about yourself today, and it'll take some time to process. You're not in the mood for television, and a few books on the shelf. I dropped my phone. And a few books on the shelf in the apartment are either in languages you don't speak or sound like a boring read. Nothing left to do but rest. You settle in the back room, lock the door. A moment of hesitation, but then a decision. Just time you turn the light off. You think back to Julie. How many? Julie? Oh, the girl I ate. Right. You think back to Julie. How many people in this city know about this vampiric society? How many are willing accomplices in sustaining it? And the thug you met in the park. If he's not Camarilla, then what is he? Are there independent vampires? How does that work? More questions. You begin wondering if there's ever going to be a night where you can start crossing them off the list, instead of adding to it. You close your eyes. You sink into the now familiar void of nothingness. It greets you with open arms, like an old friend. So there's like two factions. There's the Camarilla, and then there's the other one that guy was a part of. And he was like, "Hey man, you on our turf? This our turf, nigga." Like, nigga, this is a park. I thought he was a civilian, so I was confused. I was like, why are you talking to me like that? But he's actually a vampire as well. So there's Camarilla vampires, and then there's the other vampires. You open your eyes. It's pitch dark here. The blackness of a coffin drifting in the abyss. Alright, the light. You grasp for the switch. Flip it. The familiar cramped room with a steel door and no windows comes into view. You emerge from the bedroom fully awake just like yesterday. This time, however, Sophie is waiting for me. Huh? What? Who? Waiting for me, comfortably sitting on my sofa in my living room. A book in her hand. The Melancholy of Resistance. The title sure on brand. Good evening, Trey. Bitch, why? Who? After a long and spirited battle, I managed to defeat the lock. She reduces a keychain with a face into it? Emerald at the end, and jingles it in the air with a wry smile. What are the words in that sentence? It's my apartment, remember? Oh yeah, it is. I knew it was her apartment. But come, we have an appointment. I received word Elysium would be called again tonight on account of your unruly friend from Corona Park. This should be a great opportunity for you to mingle. She keeps talking as you walk downstairs and get in the car. Gregory gives you a slight nod and a small smile while we're opening the door for Sophie. He starts the car when you take your seat in the back. Most of the Primogen Council is bound to be there. At least those who usually attend. Probably some other important personalities you do well to at least learn about. Who should I talk to? How should I carry myself? Yeah. You never told me there's any savoir. Some what? I ain't even trying, bro. The rules I should respect when talking to other vampires. Knowing that you're among your superiors is probably the most important. In our society, status comes with age. Pardon my sincerity, but you are insignificant. Young, I guess. Not even associating with me can make the fact that you've been kindred for barely a few nights be forgotten. So know your place. It's that of your superior's business and show the utmost respect. Thanking the prince for sparing you and maybe having a friendly chat with you publicly might show your gratefulness for being a part of the Camarilla now. I would suggest you make it sincere. I'm not thanking Q for not killing me. I'm not thanking anybody. I'm gonna do it if I have to. At any rate, you should behave yourself tonight. Remember what I told you about reflecting on me as your patron. I have a reputation to uphold in the court. Do not tarnish it. That is true. I'm not gonna throw her whole career down the line because I want to be a, AO. There it is. She might have saved you. She might be protecting and teaching you, but it's clear what she's really concerned about. How you think about it like that? You step into the R-hole with something of a bad memory. The last time you were here, your entire world had been turned upside down. Your existence nearly ended. But tonight, there's very little outward hostility. Yes, Q gives you a look that's definitely intended to remind you of your place, but the prince, also in attendance, seems pleased to see you. Welcome, Sophie. Trey? Did I get that right? Good evening to both of you. I understand that there's somebody else you wish to present to the court tonight? Yes, Prince. They will be joining us shortly. My assistant is retrieving them presently. It's better be worth the prince's time, likely. The prince gives Q a cold glance. Forgive the sheriff's harshness. He's in a particularly foul mood tonight. Something to do with Trey's begetter eluding his grasp. Okay, bro. Ouch. That must have hurt his ego. Even if his only reply is a crooked smile. The mention of your sire makes you come back to all the talk of it. All the talk of societal norms and disillusionment with the status quo you enjoy back in the club. Look at you now. Behave. Agreeable. She likely wouldn't be too happy with this whole setup. Prince, court, hierarchy, titles. Hey, she's gone. Probably forever. If you break out of this, it'll be on your own. The flaring gulp of whispers in the gallery hall breaks you out of your thoughts. Gregory enters the room. Jumpsuit clad inner vampire still staked at his shoulder on the shoulders. The show's about to start. Sophie's driver chain places his charge in the middle of the room and nods respectfully to Q. The sheriff approaches the vampire and removes the stake from his chest. The captive's eyes flicker to life. He starts looking around in disbelief, like a cornered animal. He backs out on all fours, keeps going in circles until he realizes he's trapped. Q steps on the man's chest and pins him to the floor. Who does this nigga think he is, bro? I don't like you. Alright, who do we have here? No, come on, don't. Silence. The sheriff takes on an aura of utter dread. He appears as if he's a primal force of nature that's out to get you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do but shrivel in terror. Like, y'all niggas giving this nigga too much, stop it, right? The beast inside you shrieks, and you can swear it happens in unison with the instincts of some of the other guests here tonight. It's unlike anything you've experienced in this company during your turbulent first night as a vampire. He really did go easy on you, all things considered. It seems like it takes all the hoodlum's willpower to not crawl into a fetal position and start crying. Oh, please, don't hurt me, man. Don't. You and me are gonna have a little talk downstairs at the prince's discretion. Please, go ahead, my sheriff. Heard the prince. Get up. Let's go. He doesn't wait for a confirmation. He just grabs a man and drags him, kicking and screaming out of the room. Conversations start all around you. Some whispered, some quite overt. Sophie looks somewhat bored after the whole affair, her eyes wandering from art piece to art piece, clearly finding nothing to her particular liking. Yeah, I mean, of course that nigga's gonna do fine, bro. Apparently you just so intimidated by him. Do I have paper clips in my ears? So, what happens now? It'll be at least some minutes before Q gets the information he seeks out of this thug. Why not mingle while we mingle? Hold on, oh, stop, bro. Okay, mingle. Mingle as in chat. Why not mingle while we wait for him to break? Excuse me. Sophie leaves your side and goes to a corner of the gallery where a group of kindred, some seemingly pretty old-fashioned, gather. A concierge offers you a drink, still warm, smells nice. It's a sip that starts you up. A splash over your palate, coating your tongue and the insides of your cheek. Nourishment. You left to your own devices. You have a quick look around. The prince is currently talking to a dark-skinned woman that you recall seeing here those few nights ago. She has a cold but noble countenance to her. The conversation seems to be casual. A loud, shrill laugh turns your attention to the speculated man who you saw with Sophie on the night of your judgment. He's making the rounds, chatting up different patrons. You feel somebody's eyes on you. A casually dressed, plain-looking man stands alone in your column, watching you. He turns his gaze away sheepishly when you realize you've noticed. There's something about this guy. It's not that he's staring at you. Most everybody in this room has, at one point or another. It's how he does it. He seems shy, maybe even afraid. It's hard to find a secluded spot in the gallery tonight, but this guy has an entire corner of the room all to himself. As you approach, he's standing alone with no glass in hand, a worried look on his face. Good evening, mister. He kind of looked like a Robert. I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have guessed his name to be Robert. Larson. Or you can call me Robert. Either's fine. Why are you standing around by yourself like this? I'm not hugely liked around these parts. I'm surprised you wanted to talk to me. Then again, you're new, so you probably don't know. I wanted Prince Panhar's primogen. I'm here on business, in case the prince requires my insight. Usually it's so she can hear me out before ignoring me. Not sure if you were paying attention the other night when the prince mentioned diverging opinions on whether you should be executed or not. That was me. I was the diverging opinion. Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. Yeah, W mans, bro. Listen, I don't want to be rude and I appreciate you reaching out, but word of advice? Stay away from me. Many vampires in this sect regard my position as primogen to be some kind of joke, you know. You talk to me, don't notice. Don't hold it against you. You have a quick look behind you and see that a few of the kindred keep shooting you curious glances. One woman in particular, a redhead boasting a fanciful hairstyle, watches you disapprovingly. Some of them already do, I imagine. Excuse me, I need to try to get a word with a few primogen members before Q returns during night. Just the critical looks of a few kindred to keep you company, you start thinking about what to pursue next. You notice Sophie mingling with other kindred, clearly in her element and not to be disturbed. Q hasn't come back yet, so you can probably find time for more conversation. Who was the man with the glasses? I don't remember him. Did you mention him? I'm gonna go talk to the prince. I'm trying to stay respectful of her private conversation as possible. She glances at you and you step forward. Her scrutinizing gaze mimicked by her companion. I probably shouldn't have came up to the prince, huh? Excuse me for just a moment, Samira. Yes, Trey, what is it? I want to scheme of things. I wish to thank you for sparing me, Prince. I realized it wasn't an easy decision to make, and I wanted to express my sincere appreciation. How thoughtful of you. She takes a long look at you before she continues. I didn't do it from the kindness of my unbeating heart. You are an asset to Miss Langley, to the Camarilla, and to me. I believe I made the right decision. Prove to me and the other kindred in the city that it was so, and there might be more to your future. And there might be more to your future nights than just survival and servitude. The dark-skinned woman looks impatiently at you and catches the prince's attention. Forgive me. That's all the time I can spare right now. We have some things to discuss with Camarilla still. Enjoy your night, Trey. Loud exchange near the staircase grabs everybody's attention. Q is back with the hoodlum. Q's back and the hoodlum is with him. The sheriff pushes the other vampire inside the room. The vampire that threatened you last night is a mess. That stupid hat is still inexplicably on his head, covering some of his ruined face and welcome shadow. He's very conscious. His shin is broken. You think something protruding there, making the pant leg bulge. I'm not gonna say it. I ain't gonna make the joke. One arm seems twisted at a strange angle. Very little blood, surprisingly. Clearly a whole lot of hurt. Well, Q, did our guest cooperate? Tell the prince your name. It's Howard. And when you run with Howard, the Midnighters. Your name's Howard and you have a jacket on that says Mike. Oh, okay, I get it. It's supposed to be a play on Nike, but they... Okay, I'm tripping. An arch what? Coterador? An arch Coterador of our prince. Active for some time now. Though from what this one told me, the name is about the only legacy the group has kept up for. Okay, I fucking can't read. I see. Hey Prince, I didn't mean it. I didn't know. I didn't. You knew, nigga. You knew. A loud crack makes some of the guests audibly gasp as Q slaps dislocates the man's jaw. Hey, Q, bruh. I'm sorry, man. What I said yesterday, I didn't mean it. You know, I was just scared. We go. A spray of blood creates something like an abstract art piece on the floor. This one is guilty of threatening a member of the Camarilla and claiming a domain without the prince's approval. That alone would be enough to pass swift judgment, but he is also anarchist scum. My friends, there can only be one verdict: final death. Do your duty, sheriff. Unless, of course, somebody would like to play at being a good Samaritan like I. Rush it up. Look, the prince serves you, and Sophie's a cruel jest. Sophie takes it gracefully, smiling and slipping her arm under yours in a strange public show. What the fuck? Girl, everybody get your arm off me, girlfriend, before I pull that motherfucker out, you know what I'm saying? Nobody says anything. The vampire named Howard jumps to his feet and makes for the window. Are they gonna be mad at me for intervening? I'ma grab him. In a split second, you make your choice. Focus your blood. You dash forward and grab Howard by the back of his jumpsuit, pulling him away from the window. You expect some resistance, but fine, you don't have to worry about it when a swift cut separates. Oh my god! Yo! Q is standing between you and the window, his sword drawn and an ugly smile on his face. Ventrue, your eagerness is laudable, if unnecessary. That Howard fellow couldn't have hoped to escape his fate, not facing Q's expertise. However, I made note of this show of loyalty on both you and your patron's account. I would like to thank Mr. Langley for bringing this anarchist thug to me and Q's attention. I assume all have found the verdict satisfactory. It's a rhetorical question and everybody knows it. Yet I consider tonight's meeting concluded. Good night to all of you. She steps out of the room and you see that many of the guests move to do the same. Sophie seems to be conversing with somebody, a serious looking man in a trench coat about what had transpired. Probably have the time to strike up a conversation of your own too. Q, Al Asmia is still here, for one, but clearly getting ready to leave. Larson is still moping around, and the other man you noticed before Q brought the Anarch in is still chatting with the remaining attendants. I'm gonna end it there. God damn, that's crazy. So, what the? I ate 2 people today. That's fire, right? That's fire. Um, a lot happened, bro. I don't even got anything to say. Okay, I'm sorry for disrespecting Q. That man obviously got some issues. He slapped bro one time and dislocated his jaw. What would have happened to me if I fought that man? Huh? I ain't pussy. I ain't pussy, so I would have did it if need be. He slapped that man and dislocated. All right, all right, bro, I'm in there. Vampire Masquerade of New York, I think, part 2. This game is fire, bro. I'm enjoying this. I'm gonna finish this game quick as fuck. Um, that's really all I got to say. We ate 2 people. We also found out that there's different factions. Crazy, right? Part 3 dropping soon. Sooner than you expect. And it's 3 o'clock. It's 3:54 actually, so I'm gonna end this because I gotta go to sleep. Love y'all. Y'all know what to do, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, bro. I'm not gonna tell you again, don't view the video if you're not gonna hit the like button, bro. Alright, bro. Love y'all. You know, lots of love. Have a good night. Have a good day. Peace out.